Welcome everyone to the Travelogue program organized by Prakash Bhai and Bagu Bhai.
By the way, questions or comments are welcome as the presentation progresses.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, you guys can ask questions as long as you don't bring your own Travelogue.
No.
Just a short questions are fine. Okay. I visited Doha from February 22nd through February 25th of 2018. This is Jagdish Sagar presenting on Doha, Qatar. Actually, it's more than Doha. We will also take you to other parts in Qatar. This is the view of the Doha, as you know, from aerial view. Yes. This is the West Bay. And somewhere in one of these hotels I stayed, and we'll talk more about that a little later. I flew from Phoenix to New York, where Kanubai is. And then from there, I flew to Doha. Doha is in the Persian Gulf. And from Doha, we went to Tanzania, Kilimanjaro Airport, hiked Kilimanjaro. From Doha, we went to Tanzania, Kilimanjaro Airport, and then we hiked Kilimanjaro. And then we did some safari in Serengeti and Lake Manyara and Ngorongoro crater. Then Bagubai and I also visited Zanzibar and Dar es Salaam. And he went back to India and I flew back to Doha. And since I had learned that Doha is, Qatar is the wealthiest nation in the world, #1 at that time in 2017, 2018, I thought since I'm in the airport, let me just take a break and see the place, why it is so wealthy and what is special about it. If you look at the map that you are seeing, you will see Qatar, which just sticks out like a thumb. Oman is here, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Iran, Iraq, India, African countries, Red Sea, everything you see here. And of course, India is here. Little bit larger map shows you the shape of the Qatar here, close to Bahrain and Saudi Arabia and Dubai. Here you get a clear view of the country that we are going to talk about. Doha is here. So the Doha Bay is all Persian Gulf water. And then this is the border with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Let's just see if we can watch this video for a few seconds. Can you hear the sound?
A land of nurture and nature. Of art and architecture. Of traditional crafts and contemporary craftsmanship. A country of elegant serenity. Where the wisdom of the past informs the most contemporary of visions. A place most exceedingly rare. Qatar.
Yeah, that's a short video made by Qatar for marketing promotion. I think history of Qatar dates back to 50,000 years ago. They have found human occupation there. Most of the natives of Arabian Peninsula, they are descended from the Arab tribes in the 18th century, mainly from the neighboring areas in Saudi Arabia and other Arab countries. Some also came from Omani tribes. And most of the Qataris are Sunni Muslims. And those who know Shiite and Sunnis will be interested in knowing that they are all Sunni Muslims. Qatar has about 2.6 million inhabitants as of 2017, and the vast majority of whom, 92% of them, live in Doha, just that small city, which is also the capital. If you look at the citizens of Qatari, only 313K. Rest of them are all expats. So foreign workers amount to around 88% of the population, with Indians being the largest community, around 1.23 million. Nearly 14% are Europeans. A significant minority of the population is Hindu. The languages are Arabic is the main language. English, Hindi, and Urdu are also spoken. And also, there are a lot of Malayalis and others. So we'll talk about that briefly there. If you look at the population pyramid, the red is the females, the blue is the males, and this gap here shows the surplus. So practically you have almost, for every one female, there are about 5 males there. The politics and power of Qatar is, it's all ruled by House of Thani family since they signed a treaty with British in 1868. After the Ottoman rule, Qatar became a British protectorate and gained independence in 71. And they approved the constitution in 2003. In this century, Qatar has emerged as a significant power in the Arab world. And if you have heard of Al Jazeera, the media network is headquartered there.
Mm-hmm.
For its size, it's a small country. It wields very high influence in the world and has become known as, identified as a middle power. The World Cup football or the soccer will be held in 2022. So tremendous amount of construction is going on. And also they have signed up to host 2030 Asian Games. Population is around 2.8 million, you should say. GDP is about 166 billion nominal. And then per capita is almost 60,000 nominal and 97,000 when you include the purchasing parity. Its area is only about 4,000 square miles. So you're talking about 100 times 44 miles. Smaller than one of the states in America.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the economy was based on fishing and pearl. And it was a very poor nation before, till they discovered oil in the 1939, 1940s. They don't charge taxes. There is no fresh water. So there are a lot of desalination plants to produce fresh water.
Mm-hmm.
Education is compulsory and free. And it has a very high literacy rate there. Temperatures can go all the way up to 99 and maximum can be about 109 degrees. And rainfall is very little, 4 inches per year. And when I visited in February, it was very nice weather. October through February would be a good time for you to visit. This is the currency of the. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is the criteria of judging that it's the richest country in the world?
Based on the per capita, in the sense how much they produce divided by the population.
How about Kuwait? I heard that Kuwait is the richest at one time.
Yeah, we'll go into details a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the Qatari Riyal, 3.64 Riyals is what you get for every dollar. But mostly you can use credit cards and US dollars, so you may never have to convert the money when you are in Qatar. When I was landing, I took these pictures. You're looking at the West Bay, the picture that I showed you earlier from the window of the plane that was landing from Kilimanjaro airport to Doha. And this is called the Pearl. Basically, you can see the way they're claiming the land and building all kinds of fancy places. This is the picture from, this is the view from above. And this is the hotel where I stayed. In fact, when I visited, I checked out, they had what is known as Discover Qatar program, where they will provide you 1 day of accommodation in a 5-star resort, 5-star hotel if you can take a break and visit the city. So I stayed in this Intercontinental Hotel, and you can see the room, pretty big size rooms with a view of the city through the big windows in the room. And after I landed there and I got ready, I decided I'll take a walk. This is the Doha Corniche. It's a waterfront promenade, about 7 kilometers. This is where my hotel, Intercontinental Doha, was. And then from there, I walked all the way up to the Souk Waqif. Souk means, if you are already familiar with Dubai, you will know Souk means market. Waqif means standing, so it's a standing market kind of. I just took a walk, and then I'll take you. So join me as I walk in the Doha Bay on the waterfront. So look at all these buildings you are seeing. Amazing buildings, financial buildings, and diplomats, embassies, everything is in this area. It's also called, the road name is Al Dafna intersection. Dafna means dredging. So basically, this is named after the land that was dredged, from the ocean. They reclaimed the land, just like we are doing it in Bombay and other places. So they wanted to claim the land from the tribal people who used to live in the downtown area, but they were not ready to sell. So the government, instead of negotiating and fighting with the tribes, they just went ahead and came up with the idea of dredging the land. So they hired some American architectural firm, and they did that. And they have, today you see all these skyscrapers there. As I was walking around the promenade, I saw this Kadak spicy fast food restaurant on the street. So I just, went and took a look at that, and then purchased a cup of coffee. Actually, Kadak is also known as tea with milk. So they make this orange chai mixed with milk, with cardamom, saffron, and sugar, with strong milk, with strong tea. You will find these places in Doha. Assume that everybody is listening to me or watching the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Emir of Qatar. You will see his picture painted on all these big buildings everywhere. And you're looking at some of the Qatari women dressed in their way and then walking. So this is a beautiful park area created for the people to have recreation. Another view of the skyline and water. This is the Sheraton Hotel that was constructed on the reclaimed land. And this is the, you can also take a cruise on the Doha. DHOW, Doha is the small boats in Arab countries. So while I was walking, I heard Indian music. The Bollywood music is obviously very popular in all these Arab countries. This is the nighttime view. They light up all these buildings very colorful lights. And I took a picture of this one. This is actually a calligraphy sculpture. You're all familiar with calligraphy, the way they write, especially when you get the wedding invitations done, they recommend you to get the calligraphy writing. And this one has a poem from the Emir of Qatar, where he writes, and the English translation is, and amongst the sultans I stood out as a laneret floating over mountain peaks. I think the laneret means a falcon. We'll talk about falcons later. So these are all letters of those words, arranged it in a sculpture form, and it is very popular and famous. This is another view of with the calligraphy on the left-hand side. I took a picture of the skyline of Doha, and he's the artist. He lives in London. Sabah Arbili. He created this sculpture. It's called the calligraphic sculpture. And after that, I went to Souk Waqif. This is the best place to see locals socializing, dining, and shopping. It was a very interesting place for me to visit. Let's enjoy some music. These people, they just entertain people, I think, as a promotion and also introducing the culture of Qatar. So let's listen to their music. So you saw those guys playing the music and musical instruments are similar to Indian instruments. And then also the Falcon Souk is next to the Souk Waqif. Falcons are very big business in Qatar. You see these, if you watch my cursor, you will see the falcons sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And their cost can be anywhere from $2,000 to $275,000. They put on a hood on top of the falcon so that they don't fly away or they don't get scared. It's a big sport. It's also used for sport. It has become a culture of the Arab countries. It provides some recreation. And in the beginning, when those nomadic Arabs were there, it was a survival for them because the best way for them to hunt, use these falcons. Falcons have such a good vision. They can find out where the hares or any other animals are and then grab them and then bring it to their owners. So that's how it started, but today it is still a very popular cultural symbol and people buy them, people use them for sports, people treat them as pets, but it is a pretty expensive hobby. And you can see, if you see here, it is hooded. So they reduce the vision of the falcon so it doesn't get terrified by other people and other things. After that, I walked in. I was looking for an Indian restaurant, and I happened to happily find a Saravana Bhavan. If you guys are familiar with visit Dubai or all these places, this will always come in handy when you are looking for something Indian to eat.
Yeah.
Jagdish Bhai,
Yes.
it is a channel. Yeah, in New York also. In New York, this is Saravana Bhavan.
Yes,
And
yes.
Best South Indian food, dosa, idli, and all other things. Just
Right,
started.
right.
Here too.
Yes, yes. It's a very nice place to find in when you are away in a different country.
Right.
Jagdish, is it commercial or operated by the local Indian community?
No, I think it is commercial. It started in Chennai, somewhere in Tamil Nadu, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a chain and they have somehow managed to get into all these Arab countries. Dubai, I have been to one in Dubai. I have also been to one in France. I have also been to one in Sunnyvale.
Right.
Fremont.
In Fremont.
Right. And then after, it's obviously some of the people want to know what kind of food is Qatari cuisine. You know, you can see here spice blend. This blend of spice includes black pepper, coriander seeds, cinnamon sticks, cloves, dried ginger, whole cardamom, dried red chili, and turmeric sticks. I'm sure none of you know about all these spices.
Oh, Indian spices. Yeah.
And then the famous food in Qatar is called makboos. It's similar to biryani pulao. You know, it's a mixture of basmati rice with some spices and raisins and meat. These are some desserts, and I'm sure we can see jamun like here, and then some, you know, gelatin like food here. Any questions so far? If not, I will continue.
Jagdish,
Yes.
what were the temperatures during the day and at night?
When I was there, it was around 70s to 80s maybe. But the hottest temperature can go to 109, 110 degrees in July.
That will be in summer.
In August, July, August time frame, yes.
Okay,
This
thanks.
is almost like
Yeah.
Dubai, right?
Yeah, kind of. But this is a peninsula in it by itself. You know, it sticks out like this.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of Dubai. That's why I said that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, all these Arab countries are similar.
Yeah.
So Jagdish, do they import milk from India, or do they have some cows or some animals?
Good question. I think everything gets imported there, you know.
They have goats.
Yeah. Maybe
They don't use boat, they just fly the plane, I guess.
camel milk, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking of camel milk.
Yeah, camel milk will be common.
Goat milk.
Highest temperature there. And
See,
then-
I wanted to show you, you know, next day. So that was what I did the first day. Second day, I got up in the morning and I had found out that there is what is known as desert safari. So I wanted to do that. So I just planned for that. I just want to explain to you. There is what is known as an inland sea beach in Qatar. So what has happened is this is Persian Gulf. The sea has entered the country. So it's actually inland sea. You know what I'm saying? It is not a river or it's not a lake. It's actually the sea that has, it's part of the country. You can see it here clearly, how the sea water has come and occupied the land here. And here you can see more clearly that the inland sea is created in the Qatar country. This is one of the pictures of the desert safari. So we'll take you to the safari and also the inland sea and also the beach. And these are the, these are the Toyota Land Cruisers they use, and these are all the drivers. Most of them are from Yemen, which is a nearby country there, which is war-torn. Saudi Arabia is always fighting them and killing them. So many of them have found jobs in Qatar. Since I visited in 2018, at that time they were getting ready for 2022 FIFA soccer World Cup.
Yeah, football.
They call it football, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Americans get confused when you say football, so I had to say soccer. But
Yeah.
football stadiums they were building, and I just took a picture when we were going in the vehicle. So this was barely under construction at that time, and this is how it looks today after finishing. Amazing! They're building about 8 stadiums like this, and at night this is how it looks.
Cool.
And the roof is open. They can retractable roofs. And most of the people in all these, there were about 30 or 40 Land Cruisers. Most of them were either Indians or Bangladeshis or Pakistanis, and I was with them. And you can see a lot of these people. After driving some distance, they park all these vehicles, and I'll tell you why they park there, to give you a break, and also to do one more important thing, which is before getting on the sand, they reduce the tire pressure. they reduce the pressure so that it can go flat on the sand dunes.
Mm.
So let's just take a look at how the safari is when you're driving there. Some Arab music he was playing, Arabian music. He's our driver from Yemen. And this was my, the Toyota cruise mates, Land Cruiser mates. 2 from Pakistan, 2 from India, and this guy is from Yemen, and I was visiting from Phoenix. Another view here. And let's watch another video. You can see the way the Land Cruiser comes down on the sand. It's almost skidding there. Just a short video to give you a glimpse. This is picture with our driver.
No wonder they make the tire little flat.
Right.
This happened
So they're just showing some entertainment for the people.
Wow, cool.
So we experienced this in Dubai. My God, we ate lunch and took that. And
We are all standing outside.
Jagdish, I'm waiting to see some animals.
We will show you some animals. You're not talking about the humans, right?
Yeah, this is much better ride than Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah, Dubai was very.
They don't show
Okay,
this much
so-
in Dubai.
So now basically we are reached the Inland Sea, and they have all created all these tents to take care of the guests. And we changed the attire and ready to get into the water. And these are the animals, Vijay, camel. So they also have camel rides here.
Okay, great.
And the guys are preparing food for the people. And typically it is common for people to take picture with the falcon on their wrist or on their hand. And you can play volleyball there, or you can go into kayaking or into swimming, whatever you want to do. So basically we spent some time there, and afterwards we are ready to return. During the return time, he stopped near one of the shops like this and then purchased tea for all of us, saying it is a very good tea from Doha. This is one of those beach resorts nearby, and everywhere you will see the Emir's photo or picture. And this
So
is
the tea
one of the malls in Doha. I didn't go inside, but I just took a picture. Go ahead.
So is the same tea like milk, sugar, and saffron?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the same as Indian tea. They just add some similar spices.
This is Jagdish
Drink the
Bhai.
hot tea in that hot weather.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jagdish
No,
Bhai,
I had asked you previously a question about the temperature. How high does it get? And it went unanswered.
Okay, 109 degrees is what I have heard is the highest.
Oh, well, we are better here in Phoenix. We go for 111, I think, on Saturday.
Right. Yeah, it's
Jagdish Bhai,
yeah,
you
go ahead.
you mentioned about that desert safari. What did you see there?
Sand.
Or is
Sand-
just
driving on the sand dunes
that's
It's a
all?
ride.
and then going and then seeing the inland sea. the beach, and all those activities.
You don't see any animals or
Yeah,
anything?
it's not like
No,
African
no, there were
safari.
no animals to see. So moving on, when I was driving back, I saw so many people because it was a Friday, and in Qatar, Friday and Saturday are weekends. Sunday is the day number one where they start. Most of the Muslim countries follow that.
Yeah.
So day one is Sunday. So Friday, everybody is on the streets. And most of these guys are expats, as you can see them. And most of them are not bachelors, but singles.
Forced
bachelors.
Right. And then you see a lot of the people in that park. This is the promenade where I had walked you guys on the day one. And then this is one of the mosques there in Doha. Very nice architecture. They have the money, so they can build whatever they want. This, obviously afterwards I went and freshened up, and I came back to Souk Waqif again. And this is one of the pictures. And let's see what these ladies are trying to entertain you guys. So basically, they play music and walk around. And this is a pretty crowded place. A lot of people, a lot of locals, a lot of tourists will be there. A lot of tourists will be there. And then these are the men. Same group. Again, next day they were doing the music, and I just wanted to show you briefly. But I also noticed most of the women wear black and men wear white. So what you are looking at is people selling food, just like your festivals. Like they are set up food on the table, and you can go and get some of the cuisine that I showed you there, the biryani, jamuns, all those items. This is
Jagdish bhai,
yes.
When you showed the picture of women dancing and men folk
Not
those
dancing, they were
musical-
just playing music and walking. Yeah.
Yeah, so is that a show or festival, or it is normal for them to go in the marketplace to sing and walk?
I think it is arranged by the marketplace as a promotion of culture, music, and to keep people entertained.
Oh, okay. I'm quite fond of Arabic music. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Jagdish,
Yeah.
the people in these groups, dance and music, are they Qataris or are they Yemenis and other people?
Yeah, we will never know that. I doubt.
Do you communicate in Hindi or English? with the
English.
local?
No, I spoke to everybody in English, and most of them speak English.
Okay.
Are they friendly to foreigners?
Yeah, very friendly. They were asking me, where is Ushaji?
Oh, here I am.
They are very friendly people, and also they are one of the safest places. I think there is a lot of punishment if they try to misbehave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Next day, this is third day. Remember, first day we walked all the way on the waterfront promenade and went to Sharavana Bhavan and closed. Next day we did some safari and then went back to Souk Waqif. Third day, I walked all the way. I didn't walk, but I think I took a taxi to go to Museum of Islamic Art. Very famous museum there. So let me take you, and let's spend a few minutes visiting the museum. Outside the museum, there was some kind of a fair going on, people selling their stuff, and a lot of people have set up tents. And then this is the Museum of Art, Islamic Art. It's a collection of Islam artifacts from different countries such as Turkey, Syria, Iran, Egypt, and India. In fact, it seems they made an American architect, 91 years old. They asked him to come out of retirement to construct this museum. And they have the money, so they could afford to make him go and redesign this one. Beautifully designed. Inside, you will see all these, with a lot of art on those rifles. You can see some of these here. And you can see this is the peahen, right? Peacocks are usually colorful, the male ones. The peahen, the female version of the peacock, is usually no colors there. And this is one of the artifacts there. And this is a candlestick from Iran or Afghanistan, they say, from the 12th century, made out of bronze, copper, and silver.
Beautiful.
And then these are some of the bracelets. These are from Syria, from 11th and 12th century. This one has gold and gemstones, and this one is pure gold only, and is also from Syria, from the same 11th to 12th century. This is, this is the ewer from India, from 14th century, made out of bronze with silver inlay. Usually this is used to drink water or serve water. This is one of the jeweled falcons from India, 1640, 17th century, made out of gold, enamel, rubies, and emeralds, and diamonds, and sapphires, and onyx.
Real ones.
What's that?
Are they real ones? Real
Yes,
gold?
yes, yes. They better be real ones. Otherwise, Doha is, Qataris are not going to buy them and keep it in their museum.
Yeah.
These are this is a sphere made in India between 1680 and 1720, using silver, gilding, rubies, emeralds, and diamonds.
Wow.
Isn't it beautiful?
What is the size? How big is it?
That's a good question. I think it's at least, I would say, 8 to 9 inches, maybe.
Wow.
And also, I just took a picture of this because they have displayed India. Being from India, we are always interested in, whenever we see India, we like to read about it. 16th to 18th century, the Mughal Empire, founded by the last Timurid prince Babur in 1526, covered most of the Indian subcontinent. So we have to remember that India was ruled not only by British for 200 years, but several years.
Mughal Empire.
Yeah.
Mughal.
Mughal
Covered
is-
most of the Indian subcontinent, including present-day Pakistan and Afghanistan. It lasted till 1858 when British Empire took control. The arts of Mughals reflect the wide religious and cultural diversity of its populations and an increasing presence of Europeans seeking trade and political influence. Luxuries in jewelry, jade, textiles, and the art of the book reached a peak under Shah Jahan.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see some of this is a dagger and scabbard from India from 18th century. You can see the materials used: steel, jade, gold, rubies, diamonds, emeralds, wood, velvet, silk, metal threads. And then this is I was surprised to see this as a royal seal of Mysore, because there is nothing that you think of Mysore here. But then when you look at the the century that we are reading about, 1748 to 1754, and this is made out of rubies, emerald, and a single diamond set in gold. This was the royal seal of Mysore. This was during the Hyder Ali's period in the Mysore's history. Hyder Ali, and then comes the Tipu Sultan and all these people. These are some more, obviously I'm just sharing mostly the Indian displays. They had displays from other countries too. And this was interesting. These are called astrolabes. Basically, important collection of Islamic instruments. Many are dated, and these are all used by, they're all developed by well-known astronomers. Arabic word for astrolabe is astrolabe, derived from Greek, means taker of the stars. basically they were developing all these precision scientific instruments required in astronomy, timekeeping for prayer and locating the direction of Mecca from the very old times. And they were also used for mathematical calculations, and there are many of them displayed there. And you know, they combined science and art. So when you see these things, you will also find a lot of art in that, not just simply science or mathematics. And a lot of these things, they transferred to Europe. Spain and everything was occupied by Muslims from North Africa. And they learned a lot from the Muslims from Africa. These are some of the items that were displayed there. I think we saw this one before. And also I like this tile, you know, 14th century Iranian tile panel at that museum. And then when you come out of the, when you are in the museum, you can nicely see a skyline of the Doha city. And then, you know, they have created that, he has designed so beautifully. You can, you know, it's very nice to even walk around the place. And it was all inaugurated by the Emir of Qatar. I think the current one is this guy, and then his dad is here. And this guy is just taking he's just a visitor who is taking a picture with the Qatar flag. And these are some of the views of the, you know, this is the museum, this is the skyline, these are those in the water, in the bay. This is one of the mosques that we talked about earlier. If you guys can see this one, this is another artwork they have displayed. Can anyone see what I am pointing at here and figure out what this art represents?
Like a shoe.
Shoe, yeah. This one, can you guys make out the small circular thing there?
Globe-like thing.
It's a world, round world.
Yeah, it's the pearl, because they were in the beginning, before the oil discovery, mostly they were involved in fishing and pearl industry.
Oh.
Yeah,
Pearl.
so they had, I think this is the shell of that pearl.
Pearl.
Wow.
Diamond and pearl.
They were very expensive pearl.
Right. Oh, is that right?
Yes, I was in Bahrain for 7 years, and I was working with pearl, diamonds, gold, and everything. And that is amazing.
Oh, nice, nice. This is, you know, again, going back to the Souk Waqif, I saw an Indian guy making bangles, big time. A lot of people standing in line and waiting for him to make the bangles. And he's making one, and then he's she's trying it out. This is the way the market used to be before. You know, they had one of the pictures displayed there, and things have changed a lot. Coming back to richest countries in the world, I wanted to share with you. You know, it used to be number 1 in 2019, but now it has gone down to number 4. But it's usually on the top 10 since they found oil. Petroleum accounts for nearly all of the Qatar's exports. 87% goes to other countries.
I heard about Brunei. That was also one of the richest countries in there, because we saw the movie, and in that one, their toilets are also made out of gold. Bathrooms are also made out of gold.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, but they are not in the top 7.
No, it's the Sultan himself is rich, not the people. Not the people, the Sultan.
So these are the numbers per capita. You know, if you look at the United States, per capita GDP is about 63,000, whereas Qatar was 93,000. It used to be a sleepy fishing village. Now it has become, after they struck oil in 39, they are now, some of the government of Qatar owns Harrods in London and Valentino, and also they have stakes in Shard, Volkswagen, Empire State Building, and many other places.
So some other, Jagdish, you didn't see any oil wells, did you?
No, I didn't have time to go to the oil where they find the oil. It may not be easy to go unless you arrange some special tours. And here, this is Qatar that I showed you. This is the map, the yellow. They found natural gas big time in the ocean in this area. This is called the North Field South Pars. This belongs to Iran and this belongs to Qatar. And it is the world's largest natural gas field with ownership shared between Iran and Qatar. So that is another thing that made them rich.
Rich, yeah.
And then let's talk about, we say it's a small country, but the smallest country in the world is Vatican City. It's about half a mile by half a mile, or less than half a mile by half a mile. So 0.2 square mile.
Yeah.
And it so happens that Qatar is number 37, starting from Vatican City, which is the smallest country in the world. Qatar may be like smaller than Connecticut or one of those small states in New England. So this is, I'm returning, so back to the airport. And you see this big teddy bear here. Let's talk about the teddy bear briefly. Lalit Bhai was also there, so he remembers. On the way, when we went to Kilimanjaro, we took picture there. On the way back, I took the picture here. And this is actually an artwork that they paid $6.3 million to buy.
Wow.
It's actually a world famous sculpture created by Swiss-born artist called Urs Fischer, and he lives in New York City. This teddy, known as an untitled, it's a lamp and a bear, is not made out of fur and foam, but it is made out of cast bronze, produced in 2005, 2006. It weighs 18 to 20 tons. It's 23 feet tall. It is it was displayed in front of the Seagram building on New York's Park Avenue for 5 months when they auctioned it off. And one of the Qatari royal family member purchased it for $6.3 million. This is the display when it was displayed in New York Park Avenue. So this is on my way back. It was raining. And, when it was taking off, I could take a picture of the Doha skyline. And then back in New York, JetBlue from New York to Phoenix, landing in Phoenix. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening to my travel.
Wonderful.
Jagdish,
Thank you so much.
Jagdish.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was so beautiful.
It was nice.
Thank you.
It's
Jagdish,
amazing.
you
It's amazing, Jagdish, that you did all these things without Gita.
Yes.
That's why he was able to cover so much.
He was very, and within few days you covered Qatar and answered questions from all of us as if you were a Qatari.
Jagdish ji, I visited Doha and lived the same hotel in 2019, February 2019.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
I did the same walk that you did. Mainly, that's the main walk. But I did not get all this information like you did. So I learned a lot more today than I was there.